Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. My name's Mel. Thank you so much for joining me today for my channel changes discussion video. So the first thing that I do need to address is the fact that I do have a cold. It is Saturday morning and I really want this video to go up tonight, but I have been sick the last 5 days and this is the best that I have felt / sounded for the last 5 days. So this is what we're going with today. Anyway, those of you that tuned in last Sunday and helped me out, and those of you that have watched since and made comments, thank you all so much for all of your comments, your feedback, your thoughts. They have been really helpful and I really appreciate it, so thank you. As I just said, and as you know from the thumbnail and everything, this is a discussion of all of the changes that I have thought about and that I will be making going forward from today. So the first thing that we talked about last week in my Give Me Feedback on my channel video was my intro. So as you guys just saw, that is my new intro. So I've decided to go with the introduce myself, my channel, thank people for joining me, what's it going to be, what is the video going to be, then the little intro sequence with my animated channel art, which I really like, and then we'll launch into the video. For those people who are tuning into this video and didn't see the previous video, I did feel like the video, when I was starting videos by saying okay and just launching straight into it, I did feel like that was maybe less inviting or welcoming than it could be, so I've decided to change that. A lot of people do a little bit of an intro, give people an idea if they're tuning in for the first time or not, if they're subscribed to my channel and they don't know if they want to watch the video, what the video will be about, and then going from there. So yeah, I did change the channel art slightly, as you can see, because it now says uploading new videos every Wednesday and Saturday, so just so people know when they can tune in. So that leads very nice and smoothly into the channel aesthetics. In the last video I talked about channel aesthetics and what you guys thought of the changes. Most people said they thought it worked really well. So as you would have seen by now, if you have tuned into my channel, I have new channel art. It does feature the silhouettes of 3 kittens because we have 3 kittens, but of course this new position might make it less likely that you'll see that much of the kittens, but that's okay because, you know, we still have kittens. They're important to me, so I wanted them to be somehow represented in the channel. I really like the animation as well in the intro, so that's what we're going with. I haven't yet done the new profile picture. I may very well do that possibly even today, since I've gone to the effort of, you know, getting a bit channel internet worthy looking, but yeah, we'll get around to that. But I've been sick and now Rowan is sick, so it's not been the easiest time for that, but that's okay, no rush, right? So I did mention briefly a moment ago the new background here. You guys will have seen this background in my roll of reads videos because I always film that on the coffee table, which is usually in front of this bookcase. I have rearranged things a little bit. There were games on this shelf and I've put them further down and then put some books up here because quite a few people mentioned having the same background in my videos, also having books in the background of my videos. So I've rearranged things so I have books in the background and I can sit here and film, and it's a relatively easy spot to film. I may still move around. I actually quite like having different backgrounds, and I've had quite a few comments on my garden when I do videos in my garden, so I will move around a little bit, but I'll probably try and sit here the majority of the time and just do an occasional shift. The other chair that I sit in quite frequently has got books in the background, but there's just 2, but again, books in the background. So I can definitely arrange it so that I have books, which was a good idea because, yeah, booktube channel, people like to see that I have books. We'll see how we go, but this is definitely a good spot for books and a regular background, so we're going to go with this for the majority of the time. Okay, so I'm going to now move on to talk about the call to action briefly. Most people commented and said that they personally thought that calls to action were fine, but probably stick to the end of the video. They agreed with me where I said that personally I think that we all know about YouTube. A lot of us make YouTube videos. We don't necessarily need to be reminded to subscribe. Again, if you want to do that at the beginning and whenever you want to do it in your video, obviously, you know, that's what you want to do, you do that. I'm not saying that it's wrong or anything like that, but for me personally, I don't necessarily like to do it at the beginning of a video, which is part of the reason why I put the little please subscribe for more content thing, which you will have noticed has disappeared. I do have my little watermark, which if you hover over it, you can go and find a link to subscribe. So I'm going to leave it there because I actually think it's relatively inobtrusive. Plus, it's kind of nice having a little tiny kitten in the video. So I'll leave that there, and then I will do a call to action at the end, just sort of a, you know, if you like this, please subscribe kind of thing, and that will be my call to action. So thank you to all those people that commented. Like I said, if you choose to do a call to action at the beginning and whatever, you know, obviously it's up to you, but that's what I will be doing. And then channel promo, no one really commented about channel promo. I mean, again, if you think that it's worthwhile, then please let me know, and if enough people, or you know, if I feel like it, say that they want me to do it, then I will, or think it's a good idea or helpful or whatever for subscribers, then I'll do it. But at the moment I've actually just gone with one of my roll of reads. My roll of reads videos are my most watched videos, and I think they're the videos that bring in the most subscribers. And I actually even had someone comment, I can't remember who, so sorry if you were that person, but someone commented to say that the roll of reads is what brought them to my channel and what made them subscribe. So thank you so much for subscribing. Apologies again, I can't remember who it was, but thank you. And yeah, so I'm going to leave it as the channel promo thing is a roll of reads video, because like I said, that's my most watched and most subscribed to videos, so I think that works. Alright, so now I'm going to talk you through some of the changes to the content that I'll be doing. So there's not a huge amount of changes in terms of what sort of videos you'll be seeing, just changes in the sense of when roughly they'll be. So what I've decided to go with is a monthly / quarterly schedule. They're not 100% scheduled out in terms of every single Wednesday and every single Saturday for the foreseeable future is scheduled. I have left spots in different calendar months for random videos that I feel like filming, or topical videos, or announcement videos, or you know, whatever that might be that I feel like doing throughout the month. But I have got a rough schedule that I'm going to stick to from now until the next time I feel like doing a channel changes video. I'm like all of us, obviously, here in booktube and creative people in general, and I guess general people in general, I do like to try and change things around, improve, you know, etc. So I may not even stick to this very long, but I'm feeling pretty good about how this is all going to work. So I'm going to run you through what those are, and yeah, just so you know what to expect in the months / years to come on my channel. Kat did comment from Stars and Embers to say that don't apologise for looking down, because we look down, we have notes, that's fine. And I'm saying that to say that I'm going to look down now. I feel like that maybe didn't have much of a point, but anyway. In terms of monthly wrap-ups, the general feedback was stick with a monthly wrap-up. It's fine if they're a bit longer. The things, the thing that you can do, which I can't remember what on earth it's called, but where you have the times for which each book is or what have you. I still haven't actually figured out how to do that, but thank you very much, Ellie, Ellie from Earl Grey Books, for sending me that information, and I will look at that so that I can use that for wrap-ups. But I've decided to actually go with the genre wrap-up, because I did suggest that as a possibility of something I could do, and quite a few people thought that it sounded quite interesting and fun. I personally, the more I've thought about it, have decided that actually I really like the sound of that. It will mean that I have to be a little bit better at keeping notes on the books that I read and what I think of them. At the moment, as you guys know, I use Pile as my rating system, and there is a section for notes for you to keep for yourself, so I will try and do that every month. once a month there will be a wrap-up, usually around the very beginning of the month, and it will be a genre-based wrap-up. So instead of having, here's all the book I read in June, here's all the books I read in July, it will be, here's all the books that I have read for the last however many months that are this type of genre. I've broken that up into 3 different categories. So the first one is fantasy, magical realism, paranormal, sci-fi. Then we have historical, classic, contemporary, literary and non-fiction. And then we have thriller, mystery, gothic and dark academia. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cycle it around so that once a quarter you will get a genre wrap up for that quarter, but you will get a wrap up every month. I hope that makes sense. It makes sense to me. I'm hoping it'll make sense as it goes along. So eventually it'll be every 3 months, and it'll be those 3 months. Obviously, to begin with, it'll take a little while to catch up. So I'm going to do an end of May wrap up. So that will be my final monthly wrap up. That's all the books I read in a month. And then at the beginning of July, I will do my first genre wrap up, and that will be the fantasy, etc. So that will just be the books that I read in June. But then at the beginning of August, I will do the literary fiction, etc. And that will be June, July, and so on, and it'll eventually catch up. So it'll be all the books I read in that genre or genre category in 3 months. You're totally distracting me, and you're doing it on purpose. Excuse us. What was I saying? Those are my most read genres. Anything that I read that is outside of those genres, I will figure out where it belongs when I read it. So those are sort of monthly / quarterly wrap-ups. The next thing I want to mention is another series of quarterly videos. So I've had a really good think about how I want to do the kids book of the month, the favourites, and also my stats, because if I'm doing genre wrap-ups, then stats won't necessarily come into it. So what I'm going to do is, instead of doing monthly of those 3, I'm going to do quarterly, and again it will cycle. So we'll have kids book of the month for a quarter in 1 month, other stuff I've been doing, which I think is what I'm potentially going to call it, or something along those lines rather than favourites, you know, other things that aren't bookish, so like TVs, movies, etc. Then that will be quarterly as well, and that will be the following month, and then once a quarter we'll have quarterly stats. I am not a huge fan of doing those stats. I do them because I think some people seem to enjoy them and enjoy watching them and getting that info. I don't personally go and watch those particular videos, so I'm less inclined to want to make them, but for people that are interested in that sort of thing, I thought a quarterly video where I do that, why not? Still interesting, still keeps me on track of what I'm doing. Again, with the kids book of the month, like I said in my previous discussion video, I really want to keep those, but they just don't get the views, they just don't get the interest. So rather than doing a video once a month that people are less inclined to watch, I thought that I would do it quarterly. That way I can still keep them, still do something I enjoy, but obviously not quite as frequently. And then same goes for the favourites, because I don't know that as many people enjoy those, but I still do like making them. Sorry, again, not going to be going forward called favourites, they will be something else. But I do other things, as we all do, apart from read books and make booktube videos, so I thought it'd be still interesting to say what those things are, what I've been enjoying, etc. Sorry about the lighting changes, and if there's an angle change, just briefly paused so that Rowan could make some tea, and also our lights are on timers, so they turn themselves off, but I've just turned this one back on again. So not the point. Anyway, where was I? Monthly videos. So what I've done is I've made a little calendar for each month for the next few months for myself, and then filled some of that in with some of the monthly videos that I will do every month. So we have the genre wrap up, which I will do at the beginning of the month. So I'll try and do it on the first Wednesday or Saturday of the month, depending on the configuration of the month. And then I will have a haul or an unhaul video sometime in the first bit of the month. As I mentioned in my discussion video with you guys, I am not super good at remembering to do haul or unhaul videos. I'm not actually very good at unhauling in general, but it is something that I'd like to get better at a bit, because I do think that it's worthwhile me passing books on that I'm not going to reread or don't think I'll read at all if I had any of those, because other people who are more likely to enjoy it are much better off having those books. And then haul videos I am not super good at, as you would have seen in my previous digital haul, which I will link in the description below if you want to go and check that out. I actually had a digital haul from probably like the last 9 months, because I'm really bad at talking about the digital books that I have purchased. I tend to sort of save up my hauls into a big haul or a big unhaul, but I actually think that it might be more fun to do semi-regular ones that can be a bit shorter, so people can spend 10 minutes watching me instead of 30, but also then it's content that people will enjoy. I've had a look around at other people's channels and had a look at what you guys have talked about. Hauls and unhauls are very popular. Victoria, from what Victoria read, did say that unhauls are her most popular, or one of her most popular videos. They will probably be less often on my channel, so I'll probably do an unhaul once every quarter or even once every 6 months, depending on what I'm feeling about unhauls in general. But yeah, once a month will be hauls or unhauls, unless of course I do something like go on a 6-month book buying ban, in which case I will think of something else. Midway through the month, I'm planning on doing the booktube shout out videos. That was a really popular part of the favourites that I did a little while ago, so I've decided to do that once a month. It was a really fun video to film. I really enjoy talking about some of my favourite booktubers and shouting people out to promote each other in general and to promote the community, and yeah. Plus, like I said, it was fun. It did also bring in other new subscribers, so that was really nice. And yeah, I think it's a fun thing that I would like to do once a month. Again, it's a shorter video, it shouldn't take super long, and I just think it would be a nice thing to do. Then also in the middle of the month will be one of the 3 quarterly videos that will cycle, so Kids Book of the Month or quarterly stats or other things I've been doing. So in the second half of the month, I will do a tag or challenge. So they'll be somewhere in the second half of the month. I'm not 100% sure where exactly, but somewhere in the second half of the month. I know that tags and challenges are very popular. People really enjoy them. I also did get quite a few different comments from people saying how much they enjoyed tags and challenges. I really enjoy doing them. I have a lot of fun making them, so I think those are things that would definitely be worthwhile doing once a month. There are heaps of tags and challenges out there. Not necessarily saying that I wouldn't do more in a month than just the one, because like I said, I do have free spaces scattered around as well, so there may be multiple tags and or challenges in a month, but definitely I'll make sure there's one tag or challenge somewhere towards the end of the month. And then at the end of the month, I usually try and film it sort of at the very end of the month, so the last Wednesday or Saturday of the month, but depending on what else I've got going on, etc. That's someone starting up Rowan's ute. Not important, but just letting you know. Then I will have my TBR. It is going to almost always be my Roll of Reads TBR game. That is, like I said, my most popular video by far. But of course, depending on what else is going on, it may just be a regular sit down, talk about books TBR. We will see, but for the majority of the time, it will be a TBR game Roll of Reads. Also with the TBR game Roll of Reads, I haven't been doing this, but I want to do it going forward because of punishments, etc. And I'll explain this in the next Roll of Reads, but I will have a very brief rundown of all the books that I did or should have read in the previous month, because that will lead into punishments, etc. for the Roll of Reads. But that way there's also a kind of brief monthly wrap up for those people that like to have an idea of the actual books I read in that actual month, if that makes sense. And that'll be at the beginning, so even if you don't like the Roll of Reads, which again, most popular video, so I feel like you probably do, but if you don't, you can always tune in for the first little bit, and I'll make sure that I figure out how to do the timing thing so that I can have that in there for you guys as well. And the final thing is the outro. So I did mention in the previous video that I'm not very good at reminding people to leave emojis, about social media, all that sort of stuff. So I'll try and remember to do those things, but my outro is going to be where I do my call to action, etc. So now is time for the outro for this video, because I'm done with talking you guys through all the channel changes. So if you have any thoughts on any things I talked about, if you have any other comments that you'd like to make, if you didn't see the previous video but you have some thoughts about my channel and improvements I could make, then please comment below and let me know, because obviously I'm always happy to improve. Let me know what you think of the rough outline for each month, about the videos that I'm planning on making every month. I'd love to know that as well. If you'd like to leave me a comment but you don't know what, then please leave me some kind of confused emoji, because I feel like this video has been a little bit random and a little bit confusing. So leave me a confused emoji to let me know that you were here and that you watched the video. All of my social media details are in the description below. Thank you so much for watching. I really do hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did enjoy this video, then I would love for you to subscribe to my channel. So yeah, like I said, thank you again so much for watching, and I will see you next time.